Fencing?
For those old, well,
not as much fencing, just kind of the exterior of the home?
Exterior of the home. There
Buildings.
could be some concern with fencing, but again, just to have the paint issues addressed.
Any outbuildings, you know, older homes down in older Pocatello, they have the detached garage, even though it's not attached to the home. If you've got chipped and peeling paint, the appraiser is going to call that out. It needs to be scraped and painted.
Okay.
One of the other major factors is earth to wood, where there's wood portions of the home, whether inside or outside, that's exposed to direct contact with earth or dirt. Okay. And that could be a fairly serious problem, but in most cases it can be fairly easily remedied.
If it's not remedied, it just does not allow that home to go FHA. It still can be sold and loaned on a conventional.
Correct.
But not on an FHA.
Don't you guys mostly see that, though, on decking, porches? You know, it's the 4x4 post directly into the dirt instead of...
Older homes we'll see quite a bit in the basements or crawl spaces where there's support, or sometimes stairs, stringers, others, you know, that's directly in contact with the dirt.
And the major fear is termites.
Well, and the older homes will have a little addition. That was common, to add a little bit of room or a kitchen or something, and then put it to the house.
And it's right into the dirt.
It's that the concern is the termites, and people go, oh, well, we don't have termites in Pocatello. We do have termites. And the way they do it is they are in the dirt and go into the wood and then go into the rest of the house, and that's the concern with the
A lot of moisture transfer as well through the dirt into the wood that could rot and cause problems.
Right.
So just some of those major concerns, really. We don't have the cosmetic concerns that FHA has had prior.
Yeah.
Where, boy, a lot of stuff could be called out if it just didn't look real well.
Yeah.
And that's not the case any longer.
So why, RJ, why would a buyer potentially go with an FHA loan versus a conventional loan? I mean, there's probably pros and cons to both. Give us just a little rundown on why.
The main reason is money's too close. FHA has the least amount down that's out on the market right now today. And so for most first-time home buyers where every dime counts, they will take an FHA loan over a conventional loan to save money down. The other reason, and it's getting quite technical, is just simply with the credit score requirements. FHA is a lot more lenient with lower credit scores that will allow a person to purchase a home than conventional will.
Okay. Okay. When you do an appraisal, Ron, you come to a value, and there's a couple different methods that they want to see. You know, there's comparable sales. There's you know, the cost approach, or you know, I think when I was insuring my house, they wanted to know what it was going to cost to rebuild it if it ever burned down. Talk a little bit about the different approaches and why you'd use.
Historically, the appraisals, there's been 3 approaches to value. The sales comparison approach, where we're looking at what sold that would be similar to your house or the subject.
And you find those sales comparables?
They would be in the local area, the neighborhood, or a defined market area. The cost approach, what would it cost to replace the house? And then there's the income approach. If it was an income producing, or could be, what type of income could it generate? We found, though, that over the years that the sales comparison approach is used almost exclusively now because of problems with the other approaches and just the needs and requirements of the lenders. The cost approach we don't use very often except with new construction, because you're estimating depreciation, you're also estimating a lot of the costs. Makes it difficult to be real accurate, especially with older homes that have had updates and remodel that you're essentially trying to depreciate. The income approach we use on income producing properties, duplexes or rental type properties. For single family residences, most people selling their homes, the income approach we don't use. Lenders don't require it, and there's not a lot of real good information for a lot of the single family homes to generate what would be considered a credible opinion of value.
So I have a question for you, because this is something I'm dealing with a lot right now, especially low interest rates, people wanting to refinance. I'm getting a lot of people that'll say, I just put $30,000 into my home. I just redid my kitchen. I just, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I have a lot of people that automatically translate in their personal mind My house is worth $30,000 more. And yet appraisals will never, it's never been a dollar for dollar. And I'm sure the public would love to know why.
Sometimes we used to be able to reflect some of those when we would do a cost approach. But what happens is most times those renovations or updates are needed just to compete with the market. If everybody else in the neighborhood's already put in vinyl windows and new siding, you're going to have to pretty well stay up with what the market is doing and requiring. So you might put $30,000 in, you may not get all of that back out as a direct increase in the value of your home, but it would at least keep you into the range of condition and what the properties around you would be. That is a very difficult one because it's hard to see that money going out and realize you may not get an exact dollar for dollar value from that.
Well, and I think some people have personal tastes.
Yes.
You know, they want the granite countertop, but it's in a $115,000 home, but because their tastes, or maybe that's what they want, they don't care, so they spend that extra money. Does that translate, or does it really matter if they turned around and he got transferred out of town and had to sell?
It's difficult, too, if it's in a smaller, lower-priced home, to have a lot of high-priced amenities that you add.
Right.
Again, the taste, personal preference comes into play. I guess the thing would be is, well, I had a guy tell me one time that you built or bought a house when you needed one. And so a lot of times people remodel your house or add what you want because that's what your family needs or that's what you like. It is difficult to try and plan renovations, remodels based strictly on I'm going to get all my money back.
However, when you are doing some of those renovations, energy efficient.
Yes.
There's some prioritizing there. Start off with the energy efficient. Go to a kitchen and a bath remodels. Those you'll probably get more dollar for dollar. But if you're painting and you're not going to get the money that you spent on the time for the painting or a lot of the landscaping.
It will look better, and a lot of times we'll have a range of values. For any particular price range or type of home, we'll have a range of values. The ones that have been well maintained, have updates, will always get pushed into that upper range. And we'll have comparables in that upper range with those amenities so that at least you can be assured you're going to be in the upper range of what's selling that's like your house.
So it's easier for me to say to my borrowers, the appraiser's really not, as long as the floor covering looks good, it's taken care of, he really doesn't care whether it's $1.50 a square foot carpet or a $10 square foot carpet. It's carpet, it's down, it looks good.
Up to a point.
Up to a point.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, great. What we're going to do now is take a quick break, and we'll get back. When we get back, we're going to talk more about what things you can do that are going to add value to your house and how surrounding sales in your neighborhood affect your value on your place. So we'll be right back.
Why are we sitting here?
Not sure exactly. They said we should wait.
It looks so nice.
I want one, Mom.
Me too, sweetie. Me too.
If you're waiting for the right time to buy a home, the wait may be over. Mortgages are available and interest rates are low. The National Association of Realtors wants you to know that homeownership is an investment in your future. Talk to a realtor to learn more about your local market. Every market's different. Call a realtor today.
All right, we're back here on Realtor Talk, sponsored by the Greater Pocatello Association of Realtors. If you're just joining us, you're in for a treat. I got a panel here with me of Rod and Char Tovey of Homestead Appraisals and R Jay Henderson at Advantage Plus Credit Union. He's a mortgage lender for them. I'm Bill Satterfield with Satterfield Realty, and we're chatting appraisals. And before the break, we got talking about what are maybe some things that you could do to your house that help the value. So maybe we'll talk about, I run into it all the time where I go through a house and they start telling me all the things they've done. And some of the money they spent's been money well spent. Probably sadly too often it's money that wasn't well spent, and the guy puts on his, 1,200 square foot deck off the back of his house. Probably not getting the money back on a deck for the kind of cost it has. What are some of the things that are wiser money spent versus maybe foolish money spent?